Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Scott with Kingdom Gold, and tonight we are talking Mindset Monday, right? Mindset Monday. What do we do when we don't have enough money? I want you to think about that just for a second. What do you do when you don't have enough money? And this is a trend I am seeing in all aspects of really kind of modern life. Big companies, small companies, individuals, what have you. There is a kind of a disturbing trend that I'm seeing when people are not, when they don't have enough money, or they're not making enough. Maybe something comes up, whatever. And the main reason this bothers me, I'll just go ahead and be honest with you guys. The main reason this bothers me is because I was like this for, gosh, way too long, way too long of my adult life. Okay. Um, and what I'm really talking about is whenever I didn't have enough money, my first reaction was to essentially pull back from life. Okay. So don't go anywhere, don't do anything, cut expenses, this, that, and the other. Just kind of a shrinking back, just, pulling everything back together. Okay. And, it's okay to do that when you're trying to stop the bleeding. So I'm not really knocking that. But the problem comes in that we treat that as like a long-term strategy, okay? If I can just cut enough expenses, if I can just turn off the lights when I leave the room, if I can, not leave the refrigerator door open as much, or if I can save gas here and there and find a few shortcuts. It's like if I do that, then I will magically come across all this money and I'll be rich by doing that. And guys, I'm just here to tell you that that is not the case at all. That is not the case at all. That is not how the world works. If you are not making enough money, and if you are not getting what you want out of life, there's only one thing that's going to solve that, and that's that you have to grow. You have to grow. You have to grow. You have to produce more. You have to lift yourself up, and just like a tree, put your leaves in the sunshine and start making some product. Start making some growth, or produce. I'm sorry, not product. I mean, you can make that too. Start making some produce. You have to grow, and you have to learn, and you have to expand. And you find this in nature. If there is something that is not growing, it is not alive. Like, take any plant or tree, okay? It's always growing. It's always producing leaves. Whenever you see this in the animal world, when things stop growing, that means that they're, they've kind of turned the hump, so to speak, right? And they start to die. Um, it's the same way with us financially speaking, but I'm not even talking about just that, like just spiritually speaking, mentally speaking. If you are not growing, then you are not going to survive for very long. So instead of the mindset that if I don't have enough, I need to shrink back and cut corners. What if I started kicking butt and taking names? Okay. What if I started making more money? What if I started a second business? What if I got another job? What if I worked longer hours? What if I got a new job that would pay me more per hour? These are the kind of questions that it's going to be up to each one of us to figure out what works for us. But think about that, guys. How much better of a strategy is it that whenever we don't have enough, that we do more and we make more instead of hoping that we'll cut enough expenses? So I am an electrical engineer by trade, and one of the things, it was actually a surprisingly profound moment for me. Um, we were talking about the power consumption in large industries, like chemical plants, stuff like that, in one of my classes. And the professor said, how can a chemical plant save money on power? And what do you think the number one answer was from the class? Well, just use less electricity, right? And that sounds good, right? It's one of those answers that sounds good on paper. But think about this: you can only cut back so much in a chemical plant, right? Because you got to turn on the lights. You have to have so many pumps and motors running. You have to have so many instruments and heaters working and valves turning and things like that. So there's only so much that a chemical company can cut back on before it just reaches like the baseline that it cannot go past. And I feel like, we are really playing with fire in a way with treating our lives and our businesses like that. I see this all the time, especially in big business. In big business, whenever we're not making our profit margins, or whenever we're not doing, not meeting the right goals, then what's the first thing we do? Oh, we need to find a way to cut $70 million. And it's like, okay, that's cool, but that is not the source of the problem. The source of the problem is we're not getting enough customers, or maybe we lost some customers, or maybe our product quality has gone down, or something like that. So if we would adopt the mindset that we're gonna kick butt, take names, and yeah, we're gonna do things smart, and we're not just gonna throw away money, but we're going to try to, destroy the competition. We're going to try to make our company number one. If we would adopt that mindset in our businesses, in our personal lives, in our marriages, in our relationships, in our minds, just everything. If we would adopt that mindset, how much better and how much higher performing do you think we would really be if we would just stop trying to cut corners and hope for the best? Um, I just I'm so passionate about that now because I feel like I wasted so many years of my life just trying to hunker down and oh, I hope I have enough for this winter, versus what I am now, where it's like, okay, I don't have enough money. How do I go make more? How do I go kick more butt and take more names? I hope that's resonating with some of you because I know I was really caught in that trap for a really long time. And I don't want anyone else to stay caught in that trap like I was. So again, Mindset Monday, we're talking about enhancing our mindsets. If you find that you don't have enough, maybe you literally don't have enough. Maybe you're looking at getting evicted or foreclosed on. Maybe you don't have enough to, uh, God forbid, maybe you don't have enough to feed your family, or maybe to buy presents for Christmas or something like that. Instead of saying, how can I use less gas? How can I turn the lights off more? How can I do, all this cost cutting things? How can I produce more? How can I make more? How can I get more money? If you're making $50,000 a year, how can I make 55,000 a year? What extra can I do? What changes can I make to start making more money? So, and look what happens. Okay, you start. Let's say you are able to reduce some expenses, but then you're able to make more money. Let's go back to our $50,000 example. Let's say, just for the sake of argument, you're able to cut 5,000 and also to make 5,000 more. Well, guess what? Now you've got 10,000 more, right? That you can put toward your bottom line instead of just 5,000 one way or the other. So there's this other half of life, guys. I'm telling you that that's this go out and get it, go out and make it happen part of life that so many of us are missing. And I'm telling you guys, look, if we would just change our mindset, I'm telling you, my mind has shifted radically in this direction. Okay, we're so focused on who is going to give me something versus how can I go get something. Okay, and we need to come back to reality and realize, like, hey, look, the richest people on the planet, they didn't just sit back and wait for people to bring them money. It's like, no, they made things happen. They solved problems. They solved hard problems. They worked long hours, and now they're reaping the fruit of it. And it's time for us to do the exact same thing. We have to stop this victim, woe is me, maybe I'll get better one day mentality. We need to just put that aside and start saying, hey, what can I do to start making more money? What can I do so I can have more? What can I do to start learning more, to start being more? And then once we do that, guys, I promise you, that's when we're going to see our lives change. That's when we're going to see our communities change. And really, that's how worldwide change happens, is when a group of people start saying, hey, how can I be more versus how can I start being less? Okay. So anyway, I hope that encourages you. Again, we're working on our mind. Okay. Once we get this right, then everything else is going to fall into place. Okay. Love you guys. Talk to you later.